Hi guys, it's Chris here, also known as that French blog. So today I'm in Paris, as you can see. The weather is nice, I have a bit of time, so I thought it would be the perfect opportunity for me to test the Lumix J X-Vario 1235mm 2.8 zoom. So I'll tell you more after this. Let's do it in pure vlog mode. That's not something that I'm familiar to, but hey, why not? So first thing you need to know is that what I'm doing at the moment is I'm filming with the lens that I'm testing. Zoom come in all sorts of shapes and forms, and you may have noticed that some are really cheap and some others are really expensive. Here is a tip to spot an expensive zoom. They usually have a maximum aperture of 2.8 at least. And this aperture is constant, meaning that we can zoom in and out and still have an aperture of 2.8. Something that is not that easy to do, which means that those lenses tend to be expensive. And since they're expensive, the maker of those lenses try to make sure that you pay not only for this aperture, which is nice to have, but also that you get perfect optical quality. Those 2.8 constant zoom tend to be professional zooms. Another reason why those zooms tend to be expensive is because the build quality tend to be as well very good on those lenses. So it's on all those points that I'm going to judge that lens. So build quality, optical quality, aperture, well 2.8 is good. Last thing that I'm going to assess as well is what I call basically the micro four thirds promise. Mirrorless camera with small sensor, like micro four thirds camera, should have smaller lenses than full frame reflex camera. This is for two reasons. One, because the sensor is smaller, and two, because the lens can be put very close to the sensor because there's no mirror in between. So we will see how this lens fares on all those criteria. Let's talk about the aperture first. Why would you want a 2.8 aperture on your lens? For two main reasons. The first one is that it allows you to have a blurred background. What it means is that you can have your subject very sharp, that stand out in front of a background that is blurry and that does not captivate the attention. What you can see here I'm shooting at 2.8 and you can see that my background is not that blurred. This is because I am very close to the lens. It's on 12mm and I have a small sensor. All those things mean that I have still quite a big depth of field. If I was shooting at 70mm, I would have to put the camera a bit further, but I will have a shorter depth of field and nicer blurred background. The other interesting thing about having a 2.8mm lens is that it lets more light coming in. This means that you can use either a faster shutter, and that is more interesting in photography. You can freeze movement more easily, and also you can take pictures or videos in darker environment without having to put your ISO up, which may have a bad effect on the image quality. On prime lens, i.e. lenses that are not zoom, you can have much wider aperture, like 1.4, even 1.2, or even some lenses that goes a bit below 90s. But on zoom, at the moment, still most of the zoom, good quality zoom, go as low as 2.8. There are a few that goes lower, like Sigma has a very good zoom that goes to 1.8. But I think we'll see more of those in the future, but at the moment 2.8 is still considered the standard. In terms of size, I have to say that Panasonic did a very good job in maintaining this lens in a short size, while it's still bigger than most standard zoom that you find for micro four thirds. For a constant 2.8, it's very small, it's lightweight, and that is really interesting because I had some Nikon equivalent for full frame in the past, and while those lenses are fantastic in terms of image quality, they can be behemoths. I had the 28-70mm 2.8 from Nikon. It's a very good lens. It weighs a kilogram on its own. That's over 2 pounds. When you have to carry that for a long time, it finishes by hurting. This is a much more easy to handle setup. So that is a tremendous achievement from Panasonic. Full mark on that one. Frankly, in terms of build quality, it's nothing bad to say. Now let's talk about image quality. Image quality is very good at all Aperture, from 2.8 until 16 almost. It's very good. It's sharp, the corners stay sharp. Color rendition I find is excellent, and so is the contrast. So all of that makes for a great lens to use. In video mode, you have the usual hiccup with autofocus hunting sometimes, as you may have noticed in that video. But in photo mode, the autofocus is very quick. It has to be noticed as well that it is very silent, even in video mode. So that is good if you're using a microphone that is in the camera or that is attached to the camera. I've compared the lens already to the like of Nikon that I had many chances to use in the past, and maybe the quality is like a step below those ones, but it's really not far. So to me it's a very good lens, and there's no way I'm going to sell that one. As long as I will have a Lumix body, I will have that lens ready to be used, that's for sure. Now let's talk about the price. I bought mine second hand for 280 euros, and that was quite a bargain, I have to say. So you can find them at those prices. Brand new, it goes for 850 euros, I've just checked. And on second hand on eBay, you will expect to pay anything between 400 and 500 euros. Whichever way you look at it, I think it's a bargain price. It's cheaper than the equivalent from Nikon, which I know well, and it's almost as good. So I have really no problem recommending you buy this lens. So that's it for today, guys. I'm sorry that I've kept my mask for the whole video, but I'm outside in Paris today and we are in 2020, and by law I'm required to wear a mask. I'm not entirely sure it's very useful, but hey, I follow the rules. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please press the like button. If you didn't, press the thumbs down. And don't hesitate to share my video, subscribe to my channel for more reviews and more tips on how to buy the best equipment for the smallest amount of money. And I'll see you next time.